it's the end of the year, or the beginning of the year, depending on when I finish making this video. It's been another year. I want to see what I did this year. There's been some ebbs and flows in the art production for me, some studies, lots of studies sometimes, and then sometimes not even like barely any art coming out. This will mostly cover my digital stuff. If I can, maybe I'll take a few pictures of my other paintings and my sketches, and maybe include some of that in here, but that will be, I'd have to go take some photos and bring them back. Let's start off. I'm not going to show everything, but I will show most of my big projects that I did this year. I didn't do much at the beginning of the year. Maybe I was taking a break. It's not going to be the case this time, because I'm excited to get back to working and drawing and making stuff. So some cubes in a rotational pattern. Then I was really interested in trying to draw or paint dragons for at least a week or so, and then I kind of lost interest. I was doing a few figure studies. I made up a landscape pause art challenge where you pause it and you get different parts of a landscape to try and create something with it. It was based off the other pause art challenge that I did, and they're okay. Structures are something I really struggle with, but structures were one of the things that I added in here. It was like weather, time of day, and structure. Then I did a dragon study. I did a few dragon studies. Another Greg, what is his name? I can't think of his name. I will try and paste the name over the artist or at least link them in the description that I studied. And this is actually but a painting I did, because I was messing around with some Clip Studio Paint in January. Didn't really make a ton with it. Still did a little world building ideas just to give me some practice. I drew like a sketch of a city, and then I try to like think about the different parts and how it would work. And here's a few more figure studies. A lot of Christoph Young. Yep. That one is terrible. Oh my god, that is so bad. Then here's something I'm actually good at: landscapes. Like one of my first finished landscapes of the year. Unfortunately, I didn't do a lot of them. Some more portrait studies. Figure studies. I was really into figure studies at the beginning of the year. Wow, I did a lot of them. I never covered these on any videos or anything, or showed very many online. Just kind of more personal work. I did a little bit of perspective notes, study, practice. I think it came out okay. There's some potential to draw this into something. Portrait studies. Probably skip a few of these. And so overall, this is basically the artwork that represents February for me. I like the colors in it. Mostly orange. There's a little touch of bluish gray. Alright, am I still doing figures in March? Or am I kind of out of that kick? This is when I did a bunch of hands. Like a lot of hands. There's a whole video on it. You should go watch it. I did 300 hands. I think I did it in a week, which is kind of insane. Hands are considered one of the hardest things to draw, and I wanted to be able to do them. And guess what? How often I draw hands now? Barely any. I think that was just a painting just from scratch. Try to paint a dragon into the clouds. Study. Try to do some more world building type thing with maps and different locations. Maybe I'll revisit this. Did some portrait studies. I think this was not really a figure study, but I drew in a figure to try and fit it. A dragon study. Yeah, this was definitely a study on the left. I think some of these ones I did draw out myself. Still into dragons for a bit. And I don't know what's going on there, but it looks kind of sus. I'm just going through pretty much all of them. Another quick sketch. Ugh, what an ugly painting. Sign. Back to doing portraits again. March. Not really much going on in March. Really seemed kind of like a lackluster year. Alright, let's check out April. I was going to do a video on this, but I kind of scrapped it. It's going to be making Magic the Gathering basic lands. But I can show you just a little bit of what I did. Had a forest, island, mountain, plains, swamp, which that's not really the order they go. Dragon sketch here. Another landscape sketch that I think has potential to... I spent a lot of time on this and really didn't make it much of a dent in it, but that's probably my biggest thing of the month there. Kind of what the printer sheet would look like if I printed some cards. This is probably where that painting started. Sketch. Did another portrait study. And basically, my favorite artwork of the month was this one. I like the colors. And that's April. About a third of the way through the year. It really is kind of lame, in my opinion. I mean, there's a little bit here and there to be done, but there's some cool artworks in there as well. So May is where I really pick up some steam, because I did May Sketch-A-Day, where you make sketches every day of the month. And I did a video on this one where I just went through them all. So I'll just kind of go through them quickly here. Some of them I spent more time on. Some of them I might even just print out because... Oh, I gotta put me back in the corner. Okay, first one, second one, third one, fourth one was really good. Fifth was pretty good. 6, people seem to like that one when I shared it on Instagram. 7, 8, like the colors. 9, not great. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, I kind of like the concept here. 15, I tried drawing more structures and buildings. Very messy looking, but I still like it. Here's one of my favorite sketches I made. Like the sketches that I did, some of them look really well done, some of them just look kind of rough like this. But this one I do finish, and I have it right here. A few different versions of it. 17. And then there was a break when I took a trip, but I did do some on the on my iPad. This one's also another one I like. And that's the end of it. And a tree study. I don't know why it's showing this in different media viewers. Go look at my sketches from trip. Went to the Smoky Mountains and wanted to paint stuff based on that. And there you have it. That's May. I could have organized this video a little bit better, but just how it is. Okay, now we're moving on to June. Duck. That'd be funny to do a giant rubber duck. Actually, I did 2 sketches of them. One in Photoshop and one in Clip Studio Paint. They both came out very different. Some feet paintings. Studies, more figure studies. This one, I don't know where I got this reference from, but I like the shapes and how graphic it looked. The face looks freaking weird. This is probably a pretty good reference to come back and work on again. The lighting, could have paid attention to the lighting up here. This is a Frank Frazetta drawing study. Rock study. More rock studies. This one looks like styrofoam. I think this is a round brush and a painting. Okay, now it's July, and I think I start picking up steam on my production, at least on my computer. Alright, with the sketch. Kind of a castle city. And then there was I learned about this thing called Chroma Core. I didn't really know what it was about until the day it was about to happen, so I threw something together for that, which is this silhouette. Wasn't going to do anything for it, but you know what? Like, I have this cool drawing that I have. Let's see what I can turn it into, and it really didn't do that well. There was some really, like, crazy stuff that other people are doing for that. It's basically like a character design competition art thing. It's not, there's no like real prizes other than the glory of it, but it's put on by someone called Cynics. Maybe I'll try it next year. We'll see what happens. But also, it was a really bad time for me, and I had a lot of stuff going on, so I couldn't really participate with it anyways. Or shape hierarchy, color hierarchy, all kinds of stuff. Alright, moving on to some other stuff I was working on. This elemental sketch, because I want to add more into my environments. And then I think I tried, what was this on? DaVinci? Or no? I don't. Leonardo, that's the name of the program. Which had some very basic brushes. It's a note-taking app / drawing app. And I messed around with that for a couple months. It was pretty fun to just sketch with. But I ended up not really using it that much. Just the free trial of it. But it's a one-time payment, which is really cool about that. I think if you got someone a tablet as a gift, I would go and buy this program as a starting point. Made by one guy. Really neat. I got back into figure sketching. I was going to do a video on it, and then I just didn't end up doing that. So you're getting to see a little bit of my failed projects. Not failed project, but unfinished. I guess they are failures because I didn't really go and finish them or do them. Then I started doing some more mountain studies. Wow, it is crazy this month in August. Some landscape studies, some mountain studies from a reference pack that I bought. Haven't done that before, but I wanted to see how good it was. It was a New Zealand one. Some really nice studies that I did. A couple more. July, I started doing portraits. I did a video on this one. Covered it. No, August. What am I saying? So, at the end of July, I went to Gen Con, the biggest gaming convention in North America for board games and stuff. And I met some Magic the Gathering artists, some other independent artists, talked with them. They were very cool. They seem down to earth too, which is nice to see that you have these high-level professionals that are they're just kind of cool dudes. I even showed some of them some of my art, and they were very encouraging. They, so that really gave me like a confidence boost. Not that you need that from other people to give you the drive to do stuff, but it was really nice to have, like, even just a slight amount of feedback, like, directly from somebody. You can get it online, but that's not, I don't know. I think it's just cooler to get it in person. Back to what I was doing this month. August. So, drew some faces, portraits. I don't know what the study was from. I'll skip some of them. Some pretty cool figure drawings I did. So when I did portraits, go check out the video that I did in portraits. I made this as my artwork for the month. Not for the month, but this was my landscape that I did that month. And I really like how it came out. So I like the textures, kind of just the feel of this wood wrapping around the stone, the foliage. Yep, I just like it. There's August, and I ended up finishing that painting off in like October, August, and now we're moving on. I think there's kind of a lull in my work, or no, I was just doing portraits like for like 2 months as my main focus. Probably should go back and paint some more. These aren't in order exactly, just in the month. September. These are kind of in order right now. Some portraits. Some decent ones in here. Some from reference, some not with reference, or some with reference but not drawn exactly to it. Random sketch, landscape sketch. September. It's not much within the month. I did some pretty cool studies here too. It's a study or a painting. Experimented with some art. Really like this one. I think this one's pretty cool. More portrait. I think some of these were master studies. Some more figure studies, and also just some random sketches. Another quick little landscape painting. Another one. I was just playing around with some different brushes and textures. October. Wow, I'm cruising through the year now. I did a lot in November too. I guess I was still doing some figure studies. So I started to do stuff, post things on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it. So if you want to check me out there, you can go follow me there as well. But I saw this reference from someone I followed, and I painted it because I really liked how the colors look. And I think I got better at my figure drawing, so I'm like, you know what? I want to flex on Twitter. In my studies that I did in a recent video, beginning of December. I guess it was the end of November. Just on how to paint mountains and draw mountains. Here's another study that I didn't show. And here's a little glimpse into my traditional work I was doing. And working on gouache. Definitely an interesting medium. It's like watercolor, but it's thicker. So you can paint like it's a watercolor. Where you can paint kind of like acrylic. Not exactly. You can't paint over forever. You can paint over the lighter portions. Some ink drawing. I do a lot of ink drawings in my sketchbook just for the pastime or to kind of explore ideas. Definitely am leaning towards more traditional sketching lately. I did a mountain study. This one is also on Twitter from someone else I followed. I really liked the lighting on this mountain. I spent a few hours on here, and I could see myself spending more time on it. I really like it. And that was about all I had for November. And then I did a couple of studies at the beginning of the month, which were all 30 minutes. And I have a video in the pipeline for these right now, so we'll get to that later. And then December really wasn't much because I did those studies, went away on vacation for a couple weeks, came home, I painted this, and then I had a lot of Christmas stuff to get together, and I did some Christmas gouache paintings as gifts this year. So that was fun to make those. Okay, and then I had the study that I'm still working on, just to get myself back in the swing of things. I did this I started this 2 days ago, and I'm probably going to work on it some more today. Looking back, I've had more productive years on art, but I had a little bit more introspection on things and thought about where I want to take my art. And you never really know at the end of the day. I know I want to do more landscapes. I want to do more of everything because I just like creating things. Landscapes will probably be, I want to make some more higher quality paintings because I haven't really made too many that I spent a lot of time on and really refined. So more of that this coming year, 2026. But let's go and look at, I want to go back through and find some of my best ones. But here, this one, it's an eruption one. I do have one print of this that I ordered. Pretty cool. April had a few okay ones like this. This one is it's pretty rough looking, but I like the style of it. I like how it came out, and I was quite happy with this one. It's pretty much monochrome. There's a little bit of blues in here and there. Or more of accents than anything. There's a lot of cool sketches I did in May that I will maybe use as reference or do something with later. July had some cool studies in there. This one is pretty popular. Or I like this one. And I also really liked this painting as well. This study as well. The rocks were really hard to paint and draw on this one. I think I could paint over them and create something that looks a little better. And I like this one too. I think that's pretty good. November. And here's my other highlight of my artwork. Hope to show more gouache stuff later. I don't think I'm going to include it in this video. But I don't really know how to film it yet. I haven't figured that out. But it is a really cool medium. And I think that's kind of the highlight of my art of the year. I know it's not as detailed or expansive as some of my digital stuff, but for some reason I feel a lot more satisfied when I'm working with traditional mediums. Digital is still pretty awesome and I'm still going to do a lot of it, but maybe we'll see some more gouache stuff going forward. So all in all, 2025 is a decent year for art. I know I've done more. There's a few good ones in there. I drew a lot of hands. I worked on portraits, figures, did more anatomy stuff. And I don't know what 2026 will hold. Hopefully a little bit of everything. And that's about it for the year. Maybe I'll paint something today. Who knows? And until next time, Dartagon out.